Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how to build an effective sales team at your dealership. This is going to be a multi-part series because there are quite a few steps in establishing a proper sales team. So let's get to it. The very first step is obviously to recruit. So we need to be able to find proper candidates that we are going to interview and hopefully at some point hire so we can get them all onto the sales team. So let's talk about how that recruitment process works. The first thing we need to do is obviously let people know that we need salespeople. So we need to place a job wanted ad, let's call it. The first thing to do is come up with what that ad looks like. There's so many different ways to do this, and we're gonna have to kind of feel our way through this based on your environment and your market. I'll have some suggestions for you a little bit later in the video, but the main thing that we want to do is have a formulated idea of what we want to say when we're trying to recruit for people. The next thing is, where are we going to publicize these ads? Is it going to be on your website, social media, be on things like LinkedIn? These are all the things that we need to consider, is where you're going to find your best quality candidate. Then after that, we also have to look at, assuming that you're going to get a decent volume of applicants, how are you going to track these applicants? Is it going to be a manual paper and pen type of system, or do you have some online tools that you're going to work with? There are various quite good applicant tracking systems out there that will allow you to share resumes between yourself and other managers who are hiring for that position to keep you all on the same page so you're not duplicating efforts. Then once you've looked at all of these applicants, you're going to need to take that massive list of people that you have and shortlist them down. So we need a structured process on how to do that. We're not just going to wing it. So I would suggest that you sit down, if you're the only manager hiring, then you think about for a few minutes, what exactly are you looking for in the ideal candidate? If it's a group of you, then obviously you all need to get together and come up with a consensus of how you're going to shortlist people. Maybe have almost a report card of sorts so we can shortlist those candidates. And then, of course, once you've shortlisted, we want to get into the next step, which is scheduling the interviews. So we'll talk about that in the next portion of this segment. So for example, I've gone through various different types of scenarios on how to recruit. So some of them have been very simple job ads that we're looking for salespeople. Others have been where in the title of the actual help wanted ad, I've put in how they're going to get compensated, that things like, hey, make over 100,000 selling cars. And all have had various different levels of effectiveness over time. We've also tried things like putting in their salary plus bonus, no experience required. Those kinds of ads bring in a different type of applicant versus ads where you're looking to find an experienced salesperson. Backing up a step, you actually need to figure out what type of candidate are you actually looking for. Do you want that salesperson who has been in the industry for 5, 6, 7, 10 years and has a ton of experience and is basically a top gun at their store? If that's the kind of person you're looking at, and I'm going to share my personal experience here, I don't think that's who you want to target, but if that is the type of person you're looking at, here's what you're going to end up with. You're going to find somebody who is going to want the world from you, because why would they leave their current dealership, their current position, where they've already established a clientele, where they've already established all of their relationships with the management team, only to move over to your store and basically start fresh? The only reason they would do that is if you can hang a big carrot in front of them, which for most salespeople is money. At that point, what are you willing to pay for somebody who's a top gun at another store? And is it really something that's going to fit into your culture and your profile? What I found to be more effective is to actually hire people who maybe don't even have car selling experience, but have some kind of sales experience or customer service experience, and train them, mentor them, and get them to where you want to be. I find that those type of people are, number one, the easiest to manage, and secondly, the type of people who will stick with you for the long run and not jump from one dealership to another. The other part of this, when you do put up a help wanted ad, you're gonna find that it's not necessarily those top guns at other stores that you're trying to target that are actually gonna apply. It's gonna be those people who are always turning. Right? You know, when you're at a dealership, there's that bottom 20 or 30% where the people are always just churning through. That is the type of people you're going to attract when you're looking for experienced sales staff. So it's kind of like you're getting the worst of the bunch out there because they didn't last at their last dealership. Now they're looking for a new home, and you know they're not going to last at yours. So you're just going to spend time, trouble, and effort training these people only to end up nowhere further. In fact, further behind. So my suggestion would be, have an idea of what you're looking for. My personal suggestion and my personal experience has shown you want to look for people who don't necessarily have car sales experience, but have experience in customer service or some other type of sales. So let me give you a really quick example. I find the number one best way to recruit is finding people in your real life. When you're out there living your life, going grocery shopping, shopping for clothes, shopping for a TV, whatever the case may be, make sure that you have your antenna on, that you're looking for people who are actually impressing you. We tend to get wrapped up in our day and we just want to get that particular task done. But if you're out there, let's say, in my case, I was shopping for a TV. I went to various different places, ended up over at Best Buy. I ended up with this one gentleman who was absolutely phenomenal. The way that he walked me through the process, he was asking me questions that I didn't even know I needed answers to. So with this fellow's intelligence and the way that he presented everything to me, he actually had a guide as to how he's gonna get me from I need a TV to which TV do I want and what accessories do I need, how am I gonna get it installed, how is it gonna work for me, all of these kinds of things. And he walked me through that entire process. By the end of that purchase experience, number one, I ended up spending a little bit more, actually way more than I was expecting to spend on the TV, but I knew that that was the TV that was gonna actually meet my needs for the long run. And he was actually able to impress me so much that I told him if he's ever looking for a career in an industry other than what he's doing right now, to give me a call. Another quick tip, pro tip, is to also make sure you have a lot of business cards with you wherever you are. So you can give that person your business card and let them know, hey, look, if anything ever happens and you're not happy here where you are right now, or you're looking to make a change, please give me a call. I'd love to have a coffee with you and show you around the dealership so we can maybe have a conversation and see if car sales is a good fit for you. And I found that, having your eyes open, having your antenna up in the real world is probably your best form of recruitment, because these are people who are not actively looking for a job, but they're doing their job. So you actually get to see them in their environment, in their role, versus when you're interviewing, people put on their interview face, right? And you can't necessarily judge in that 10, 15, 20 minutes, is this person really going to be a good fit for you or not? Versus if you're actually dealing with them, doing the job that they are actually doing with you and for you, you're getting a really, really good sense of who that person is and how they're going to fit in with you, your team. Some other examples that I've had is, for example, servers at restaurants. That's another great area where you can find people who are hyper-focused on customer experience and do an amazing job to make sure that you're happy with your meal. Now, if you could translate that over to car sales, train them in product knowledge and stuff like that, how amazing would these people be for you? So there's a couple of quick tips on where to look and how to look on recruitment. So thank you very much. Let's carry on in the next segment where we're going to talk about scheduling the interviews.